Welcome to my quarter life crisis. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching my first video ever. As I just jokingly said, I've been going through what I consider to be my quarter life crisis. And you might be wondering why I'm saying it with such a smile on my face. It's really because I've just learned so much from it. I feel like I've gained a lot through my quarter life crisis. It has challenged me to really think about who I am and what I want to do with my life. And it's actually a big reason, probably the reason, why I really started my YouTube channel. This is kind of crazy to say, but I've been wanting to do YouTube for over 10 years. It's always been on the back of my mind. I've wanted to do YouTube, but felt really scared to record myself and speak in front of the camera. Also, I was really scared of what people would think of me, like my friends and family. Like if they found my videos, would they be like, what the heck is she doing? I've noticed that over the years, I've grown up feeling so fearful, so doubtful of myself, constantly looking to others for their approval. It really got to a point where I didn't even know who I was apart from what others thought of me or wanted from me. So you might be wondering, what is my quarter life crisis and what led me to it? So just to share a little bit about myself, my name is Serena. I am currently 26 years old. I'm supposedly an adult, but I feel like a child half the time. Most of the time. I recently got married last year to my husband, Alan. I would say people describe me as very emotional, animated, expressive, passionate, full of ideas. I love things like introspection, reflection, journaling, mindfulness, hanging out with friends, creating meaningful relationships, eating good food together, sharing our stories, learning from the things that we've gone through together. And just to share some of the events that have led to where I am now. In college, I majored in psychology, which I felt like it was the perfect fit, learning about people and how our minds work, how our emotions, our past experiences really shape who we are now. And I really wanted to take that education and let it really impact and inform the way that I relate with myself and the way I relate with others. At the same time, I was really involved with a Christian group on campus, and that was a really great space for me to build meaningful relationships with others and also learn about my spirituality and just my overall purpose in life. I know we often think of college as this time where we're super free and we get to do whatever we want and establish our own structures and all of that. But at the same time, when I look back at my college years, I feel like it was still a very safe and comfortable bubble. Take certain classes to fulfill certain requirements, and once that's all over, you come out with a degree. At least that was my experience. So after I graduated, I felt pretty lost. I didn't know what jobs to apply for. I didn't know if the next step was supposed to be like a master's program. I was just like really lost. And instead of really embracing that, digging deeper and figuring out more about myself, I just freaked out and I went to like the most convenient option possible. So funny story, about several months after I graduated, I got this random eye infection, and so I ended up going to an eye clinic. During my visit, the doctor asked me, hey, are you looking for a job? Why, yes I am. And just like that, he asked me to bring in my resume during my follow-up appointment, and so I did, and then I got a job. I remember feeling so relieved. My worst fear was going to family gatherings and my family just asking me, so what are you doing after college? Or what are you doing next? And me being like, I don't know. I just remember in that time of my life, I was just so concerned with what people would think of me. I cared more about what they think I was doing versus what I was actually doing. Like, it didn't really matter what job I got, as long as they thought it was like a good enough job, then I thought it was a good enough job. So I spent that next year working as a receptionist at the eye clinic, and I think I just felt like I wasn't living up to the expectations that I had for myself originally. So after a year of working there, I was like, okay, I'm done. I want a change. I want to do something that I'm really passionate about. So I decided to go to seminary. As I shared earlier, a big part of my college experience was this Christian group I was a part of. It was where I really started to understand who I was and what I was good at. And so I thought seminary would be a really good place for me to continue building my skills and learning how to do ministry and ultimately how to be a pastor. Long story short, I went to seminary for 2 years and also had like ministry and church experiences along with it. And through all of that, I realized that being a pastor was not something that I wanted to do as my full-time career. This would have been my 3rd year if I had kept going. But during December 2019, so about half a year ago, I just got to a point where I realized I'm so stressed out and this just doesn't feel aligned with what I want to do. And keep in mind that quarter, I also had just gotten married several months earlier. So it was my first quarter of getting married and still figuring out who I am, what career I'm doing, what all this is for, all the while figuring out how to build a strong, solid marriage and a future foundation for our children one day. So there was just a lot going on in my mind. At that breaking point, I was like, I'm done. I cannot anymore. After I made that decision, I rode that high of just like feeling so free to finally let go of something that didn't feel like it aligned with me for a while. But after that initial high, I immediately was hit with the reality of what the heck do I do with my life now? I remember looking around me and really envying my husband, who seemed like he had it all together, had a great job. I looked at my friends and my peers who had stable careers and were getting promotions and working their way up. And I just felt like, how did I become this failure, this disappointment? So for a half a year, I just spent a lot of time reflecting and really trying to unpack all of the negative mindsets, the fears, and the self-doubts that were really hindering me. I also noticed myself trying really hard to rush the process and trying to apply to different jobs and just like looking at job descriptions like customer service jobs and HR jobs, administrative jobs, medical receptionist jobs too, because I knew I had experience in it. In the back of my mind, for every job I ever looked into or applied to, I just knew that it wasn't fully aligned with what I wanted to do and who I was. But I was just so afraid of exploring other options because that was so unknown to me. So after several months of really wrestling with the job search process, I sat down and really asked myself, what is it that I want to do with my life? And I realized that I wanted to spend my life and my time bringing encouragement to others, making others feel less alone and more understood. And I wanted to do that through YouTube. But what was holding me back was this constant fear that I wasn't being practical enough, that I would be a disappointment to not only my parents, but also to my spouse, because I would burden him with the responsibility of bringing in the income while I try to launch this career that doesn't make any money in the beginning and has no guarantee that it'll grow. In my next video, I'll share some things that really helped me to overcome my fears, to filter out the noise, and really make a decision that was truly aligned with who I am. And with this case, it was YouTube. I don't know where this journey will take me, but honestly, my experience of growing up, learning to be an adult has just been so challenging, but also so meaningful. And I want to be able to share that with you. It's okay to struggle sometimes and to not have it all together. And you and I are not alone in that. So if you've watched this far, thank you so much for listening to my story and just for connecting with me. I have so many more videos that I want to share with you. I really want this channel to be a space where we can encourage each other to be the truest version of ourselves and to create beautiful and meaningful relationships and experiences and live a life that is truly living, not just going through the motions on autopilot, going from thing to thing or goal to goal, but truly embracing each present moment as a gift. So if you want to come along this journey with me, please be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in learning more about how I navigated through my quarter-life crisis, please be sure to check out my next video where I detail 6 things that really helped me to get through it. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and gained something from it, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.